Hey everybody, Z Garcia here. Today I'm taking a look at the second expansion to Res Arcana here. This is Perlae Imperii. Perlae Imperii here, which means Pearls of Power, introduces a lot of these same things that the first expansion did. So you're going to get new cards that go into the main deck, the artifact deck. New mages, new places of power, all of those things you would expect from an expansion to this game. But it also introduces, of course, pearls, which are a brand new essence, it itself worth victory points, but having the secondary ability of being something you can spend for some other resources that perhaps are a better use of that. Or maybe you should keep it for your victory point, right? That's the trick. So, I'm not going to be showing you how to play Res Arcana. I've done a review, check that out if you want. And you can check out my review of the first expansion as well if you want to check that out. We're going to be just taking a look at the components in here, tell you a little bit and show you some of the things that come in it. And we'll come on back after that. I'll tell you what I think of it. So here's everything that comes with the expansion. You are going to get 2 new places of power, double-sided of course, each of these. You are going to get 12 artifact cards. You get 4 new mages. You get 4 new monuments. 1 new magic item, this player aid right here, and a new type of essence. Right here in the center, pearls. So these pearls right here are going to be the central focus of this expansion, okay? They're going to be on a lot of the new components, of course, and they're going to behave in their own different way. So as you can see here for setup, this uses the same breakdown as the first expansion, but even if you don't have that, it'll explain to you that the game now scales based on the number of players, meaning how many places of power are available, how many monuments are in the monument deck of cards at the beginning of the game. And then on the back of this, it's going to explain a few new things. So now the game is going to end when you get to 13 points when you do a check for game end. Instead of 10, it was 10 or more, now it's 13 or more. The pearls themselves are worth a victory point for you anytime you have one. Even if it's just sitting on a component in the game, it's worth a victory point. You can at any time get rid of a pearl and take a gold or take 2 other essences from that. And then down here they explain that, if you are getting some sort of discount or something, or anything like that, any conversion, and it does not apply to gold, then it also does not apply to these pearls, okay? So, let's take a little bit of a closer look at what we've got. I'll leave that face up like that, actually. So the mages, the new mages we've got here. This dragon tamer that's going to let you put out dragons at a discount, and you can exhaust this character to bring back a dragon you've got. We've got this one over here, all about a lot of the same thing. You're going to have, you can react and treat a card you are playing or some ability you are triggering as though it was a demon or a creature. And then down here, you can treat something as a dragon. Very tricky card to play well, that one. Over here, we've got pearls that will end up on this seafarer. And then you can make gold by turning in your calm essence into gold. And then this one right here, the infuser, again, has an ability that manipulates some of the new pearls as well. Okay, so 4 new of those. We have new monuments over here that are going to obviously always cost 4 gold, same as in the original game and the expansion. So you just shuffle these right in. And they'll give you some new abilities. This one puts gold on here, and it'll be worth victory points. This one lets you make pearls, and they go right on here. You can leave them there, or you can, of course, take them when you are collecting resources. We've got this one here with a new react power. And we've got this one here. That's another way to make pearls if you've got that from the death essence. All right. We have got the new locations. So we've got this one here, all about that, the red resource. We've got, on the other side of that, a very interesting one, the pearl bed. It gets you a pearl when you're collecting your resources, which is extremely powerful. And then you can put pearls on here, or you can just straight up take pearls with the bottom ability. But this is worth 2 per pearl on it. So that means if I've got 2 pearls sitting on here, this entire tile to me is worth 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for this, and 6 for this, okay? Because each one, no matter where it is, if you have it, is worth 1 point. So this right here would be worth 6 victory points. Very, very good card or location to have, especially if you can load it up. So we've got that one, and then over here we've got this one that lets you put out creatures at a discount. It's all about the creatures, and then scoring the creatures and scoring the calm essence if you've placed that on here. Very nice. And then on the opposite side, again, very much about the new pearls. Getting gold and pearls, which you put on here, or just getting pearls straight into your supply. So that's the alchemical workshop. So there we go. That's those. And then lastly, we've got, like I said, a few new cards. So a couple of free cards that show up. These 2. This one here will let you, when you're collecting resources, well, I should explain the bottom. You can spend a pearl and exhaust this to put it right on here. But then if you leave it there when you're collecting resources, you are going to get a gold or any 2 other essences. This one here is a react. As you gain gold, you get 1 more thing. We've got then 1 new dragon right here, which will force your opponents possibly to get rid of pearls, or they can choose to get rid of pearls. We've got 2 creatures. One of my favorites right here, the dolphin, makes pearls, and then you can gain some of that calm and give your opponent some, but you can also has a react power to defend you, but the pearl making ability is really very powerful. Over here you can make some gold with the phoenix, and as it burns up down here, then you put it back on top of your deck. So it's a phoenix. It will rise again. That's the idea. Very cool, nice thematic touch on that. We've got 1 demon here, introduced in the first expansion, so there's a little bit of a sprinkling in here of things shown in the first expansion. 1 new demon there. 2 new demons, not 1. The Catherine Wheel thing here is also a demon. It hurts everybody, by the way. This one, when you exhaust it, it says all players are targeted. That includes you. And then this card here that lets you place either demons or dragons or creatures at a considerable discount if you're willing to get rid of a pearl to do that. You can also make pearls from it. And a few other things that all have to do with manipulating pearls and that sort of thing. And then that. And then that one there. All right. So that's pretty much everything that comes in there. And of course, a lovely rule book here as well. So that's everything that comes in the expansion. You just mix it right in. You remember that you need to make it to 13 and that those pearls are worth points. Though you can get rid of them if you really need a gold or you really need a couple of essences. But that's pretty much what's going on. That should give you an idea of what's happening. Let's go ahead and go back up top. Let me tell you what I think of the expansion, how I think it changes up the base game. The first expansion to Res Arcana, which is this one right here, Light and Shadow, I think is a very good expansion. I certainly recommend it. But I did think it did not change as much of the game as maybe I thought it might. The components at first blush kind of gave you this a little bit of an underwhelming feeling, right? You're like, oh, only 12 new cards. That's a decent amount of the deck of cards, but it didn't feel like a new, sort of like this is the new era of Res Arcana. But I very much like it. The new one, though, I like even better. I think it does do that thing I was, looking for. It does feel like this is Res Arcana 2.0. It's still not that many new components. I mean, really, the component lists between the two are very similar. This one just feels like it swings for the fences a little bit more, to me, okay? So let's break it down. Starting with the top, the theme. The aquatic theme, the rarity of jewels, the magic that is imbued in everything in the game really works for me. I think it's great. So, thumbs up there. The aesthetics in the game. Component quality is the same as in the first one. These pearls, though, which are plastic pearls, they are rounded, but they do have a flat side. so you can rest them on the table without them rolling anywhere, which is great. They are gorgeous. They are really, really beautifully produced. The artwork is lovely. So is the rest of the artwork, right? I'm not saying it's suddenly way, way better, but some of the pieces in here are really stunning pieces of artwork. So aesthetics also gets a big thumbs up from me. Replay value. You're going to get some interesting new combos in here. You're going to get some interesting new avenues for strategy in here, the way things interact. But then also, the pearls are such a powerful thing that you will find yourself discovering, by the very nature of their existence, new paths. You might not even have a deck that utilizes a lot of the pearls. You might end up getting them and keeping them, just hoarding them, and they're worth victory points, and that's great. You might end up using them as merely another essence, which really is what they are. Take them, turn them into a gold when you need them, turn them into a couple of things when you need them. That would do it, that's fine. But just having another thing, a powerful new thing like that, is going to open up a lot of new, interesting possibilities and combos to pursue. The game arc. I think 13 points feels great. I really think that they got that one very much right. It might be a few minutes longer than it was before. I don't know. I haven't timed my games in the past, but it felt really good. It was just right. I'm sure pro level players, and there are some pro level players, I'm certainly not one of them, would probably finish the game in about the same length of time, right? Which is, I think they say 4 to 6 rounds is average game length. To me, it felt just really good, but I had a little more time to sort of crunch on some fun things that I wanted to do along the way. So, game arc for me, fantastic. The ease of play. It's very easy to shuffle this expansion right into the base game and forget about it. It just works easily. You have to remember basically one thing, really, that you have to remember. It's on the reminder tile. But the pearls are worth a point. That's going to come naturally. They stand out so much from the other ones that you will internalize that very easily. You just have to remember that all the discount costs that list gold as like not a possibility, that also cannot be pearls. And again, they feel special, so that will feel apparent. That will feel like, oh, I'm sure I can't, turn into of what a life and then get 2 pearls when I do this. No, you cannot. If that power says you can't take gold, then you can't do it with pearls. So the ease of play also very high. I played, in fact, with both expansions thrown in, and that's fine. It's very smooth and easy to play. And then lastly, tactics, luck, strategy, of course, also gets a thumbs up from me. I think the balance between what I kind of mentioned already, the balance between the effort to make a pearl and then whether you keep it or whether you spend it, that push and pull within yourself, like, am I really about to give up a victory point to get that one essence that I need to be able to play this card? Am I going to do that, or do I just wait for next round where I'll make the essences? But then maybe I'm falling a little behind the curve by doing that. I think that's very interesting. Knowing that the math of the game is a little bit even more obscured now. And it's so interesting to be faced with those moments where you have to decide what you are going to do with these new abilities, with this new very powerful resource. So I thought that was excellent. So there you go. Overall, as an expansion, there's a good amount of content in it. Again, I always feel like, it's just really 12 cards, but that is a decent amount of the deck. You're getting 4 new mages. If I had to nitpick one thing, it would be that the component backs, like the card printing, does not match the original components as much as I would like. There's some color differentiations there, which are very tricky to get right from what I understand, and it happens to a lot of expansions that have new cards meant to be shuffled into an old deck. the printer for for those cards, I guess, has a hard time getting them to look identical. I get it. I don't work in printing, so I assume that that's the case. So, but having said that, I think this is a superb expansion that I would wholeheartedly recommend to folks who enjoy Res Arcana. And to be fair, if you don't enjoy Res Arcana, what are you doing? This game is amazing. So the expansion from me is going to get the same thing I rate the game. It's a 9 out of 10. Absolutely got to get yourself a copy of this one. I would recommend the first expansion as well. If you really like the game, get both. But if I was forced to only pick one of the two, I like this one better. I think the pearls are just not to be missed. All right. So there you go. 9 out of 10. That is a seal of excellence. And that's going to do it, everybody. My name is Z Garcia. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.